All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Marketplace Mavericks, where three over-the-hill guys talk about their journey starting out in Amazon. We're back.
We're here.
We're
Week
back.
number
We
what,
are.
guys? What week are we on here?
This is 5, I believe.
Is this five?
Week
Okay.
5? Time flies when you're having fun. At least that's what you guys tell me. It's a lot of fun hanging out with me. So
I mean, of course it is.
Help boost your ego a little bit.
yeah, whatever it
Yeah.
takes, right? Whatever helps me sleep better.
So we've made it through another week of selling on Amazon, and I know everybody's got to be wondering, like, how did these three handsome,
Random.
random guys meet each other? And I think if you guys have been, anybody out there who has been doing any sort of starting out at Amazon, you're researching Amazon, you see a ton of online coaches constantly all over YouTube. They all do coaching. And we're going to talk a little bit about the online coaching. And all we can do is talk about our experience. We met each other through an online group called Flips4Miles. And I think I would say Miles is the GOAT of online coaching. He is.
I would agree.
He is the first video you see on YouTube. And he's got a little crew of guys, and they all kind of started around the same time. They're all way younger than us. And they do coaching. There are bad coaches out there. There are good coaches out there. All we can do is talk about our situation. And I don't think I would have made it without Miles.
I think we would
agree.
all concur that in our journey, doing it alone and doing it with somebody who knows what they're doing, there's just a massive difference in that. The three of us had no idea what we were doing, right? But we were able to partner up and let Miles coach us. And Miles coaching is it's one of those things that really just help propel you. Otherwise, you're going to be spinning your wheels for, whether it's in your dating issue or whatever your issue is that you're in, you'll be spinning your wheels. But when you have a coach, and all three of us can speak very highly of Miles, that dude is legit, and he does nothing but help us get to a place we're at. Because if we didn't have him, we would probably be stuck in the week 1, week 2, week 3
Forever.
hamster wheel, trying to make traction and just simply getting nowhere. So yeah, this school that we've partnered with Miles with has been absolutely incredible. It's what's brought us and given us the ability to even have this platform and be able to help other people.
Yeah, like I think that anytime that anybody jumps into any sort of endeavor, they if they don't really know much about, and they need that guidance, you typically look for a mentor to help you sort of guide you down the path of profitability. And I feel like that we really had a unicorn with Miles in that he's been really a positive influence, not only just with helping guide us through Amazon, but also generally speaking, he seems like he's, he might be a 20-something-year-old in a 20-something-year-old body, but I feel like his mind is much older, much more mature. In terms of helping guide us mentally through the process as well.
Yeah, I know. For me, looking on YouTube, the constant, and nothing wrong with it. If you make a bunch of money on Amazon and you want to go buy yourself a BMW and drive around and be flashy, that's cool. Those videos, for me, kind of turned me off.
Mm-hmm.
Miles doesn't do that. He is just all about business. The man, I shouldn't say boy because he is a man. He hustles. And the website that he uses called Skool is how we all met each other. And then he really introduced us to networking. He just put us all in a group chat in a text. He said, "Here you go, guys. You're all going to be friends, and you're going to learn from each other."
And honestly, he knew our demographics of, not necessarily where we live, but probably more age-based. But that's kind of how... Yeah. That's why we start out with guys 40 years or John, in John's case, maybe a little older, but that's Miles literally just paired us together, and it just started this friendship that we've encountered here, where it's been very unique. And one of the things that Miles always says is, in your hometown that you're from, there's probably no other sellers or no other human beings that are doing what you're doing. And so your group or your network is very limited in your small space that you're in. But when you open it up to the web, like there's people all over the world who are doing what you and I are doing right now. And so it just opens up the network opportunity. And so that's exactly what happened with us. And so it's been a great thing with the three of us. And we have There's a couple more people who are in the same group as well, but we're doing this podcast together, three of us. But one of the things I was gonna ask, maybe even pose a question to you guys, because it was, I wouldn't say it was a challenge for me, but it was definitely not an obstacle. I think it was just a question, and it was, I'm taking advice from Miles. Here I am. I'm 44. Miles is 25. What did that look like for you guys?
I mean, for me, I quickly had to say to myself, like when he started pushing, hey, get online, go on X, go on Instagram, talk to each other, document your progress. I said to myself at first, I was like, why do I want to do that? Like, I got a million other things I need to be doing with this. And then it, like, for me, it clicked. It was like, wait a second. I come from the taxi business. That doesn't exist anymore because it didn't evolve. So maybe I need to evolve. And Miles, along with Miles, he's got this crew of friends that all do it together. And they are just impressive.
I agree,
Not
man.
flashy.
Absolutely
I mean,
impressive. Not flashy. You're right.
not flashy. They are smart. They are smart and they're probably very mature for their age, because I'm assuming most 25-year-olds are not like that. But it is, you guys can look up and see what it costs. We're not going to say what it costs because we don't know how much Miles changes it from month to month or what it is. But, it costs money, but you have it for a lifetime. And the way it's set up is in the beginning, you're screenshotting your Keepa charts and your Amazon listings, and you're sending it to Miles through this Skool website. And he's telling you, this is good, that's not good, this is good, look at this Keepa chart, this is why it's good, this is how you make it good. And you do that constantly for the first 3 weeks. You're sending him everything. And then it starts to build your confidence. And then you just find yourself not sending everything to him. But you switch over and you start using the Skool group for all of your networking and for your questions. So it is infinitely helpful for years.
Yeah. So what does that look like? You said there's this Skool thing online, which I'm obviously aware of, but what does it look like to someone who is maybe either looking to get into something like that? What can they expect? Because it is, in a sense, it's a school. Like, you will learn, right? But it's what does that look like for the average person to explain what is Skool? What are you getting in there?
What is it?
Yeah, so Skool is something relatively similar to, if you've ever heard of Discord, if you've ever heard of Telegram. It's basically a site that everybody that is part of Miles' program can go on, make comments, ask questions to Miles or to the entire Amazon or the entire group, and they can respond to you and kind of help answer the questions that you have if Miles is not available. It's just a way to collaborate with everybody in the same group, just like you would with any other online source like Discord or a Telegram. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And what if I have a dumb question? What if my question? I mean, I think that this is I can't get past this simple thing. To me, it seems dumb. But
if you have a dumb question, Blake, then there's like a search function on there that you just type in. If you don't want to ask the dumb question, just type in a couple of keywords from your question, and 9 times out of 10, somebody's already asked that question.
Well, that's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. Is your question's not dumb. Your question's just unanswered. You don't know it, and so you can either search for it.
Someone's wondering.
If somebody else has already had your question, and they've more than likely answered that. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is that there is a resource there for you if you would join into this Skool thing, where you will find the answer, or you have the community of people who have been there, done that, who are there to help you. That's one thing I think probably all of us have recognized is we all had to start small. We all started, week 1, just like you guys, week 2, like you guys are. And, so everybody's been there, and everybody is willing to help you in many, many ways.
They're so helpful. And he does Zoom calls, was it once or twice a week? And
minimum.
I don't usually go on them anymore because I've been doing it long enough where you kind of you learn them and you don't need to go on them all the time. but he sources right in front of you. Like he gives you all the secrets. This is, this is how you make this brand good. This website is always good. This is where you get gift cards. Don't go here. If you're buying from Walmart, make sure it's sold by Walmart, not a private seller. Like he kind of helps you through all of that. Especially with the ungating, just lets you know he can't get anything ungated for you, but he lets you know, like, it's normal. Just keep going. Don't worry when it says 100 units, just keep doing 10. And he just breaks down that wall. The funny part is when you go on the Zoom calls, there's 30 or 40 of us on there. And sometimes I flip the screen over and there's Miles, 25 years old, and everybody in the Skool group is our
40.
age. So we're all doing it. So the age thing, you just real quickly realize like, oh, this is what younger generation is doing. This is the small business.
Yeah, I think one of the things,
company. It's not a brick and mortar.
Correct. You're exactly right. And I think that's one of the things that that I had to come to, and I've always known it, but surround yourself with people who are better than you, even if they're 25 years old. They know what they're doing. They know their crap. Like, let's take advantage of those things. They're there to help you. It's okay that they're smarter than you are, John. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take a ton.
Right. That's why I wanted to use a real simple example. And so that was easy.
That doesn't get much simple than that. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And Miles, these guys have been doing it for, well, not that long, but it just also goes to show how fast you can grow this business and how fast you can really become an expert in it. Like, It doesn't take all that long. It feels like a long time. Every day is long right now. But when you look at these guys, like within a year or two, they're up and rolling.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money.
Yeah. And it really just comes down to finding a good ASIN or two or three. You want to diversify some of that. But once you find some good ASINs, obviously you want to keep looking. But man, when you find some good ASINs, like you can really begin making money. Maybe like John, have you found like one or two ASINs that are just like popping for you?
Yeah. Yeah. You find a couple. And what Miles also does is like help you get organized. He tells you like you need Keepa and you need the other one, SellerAmp. And not only SellerAmp, I think we talked about it briefly in like our second episode, but it is a Chrome extension that breaks down all of your profits, how much you need to buy it for, all of the back end money that Amazon charges is there. It makes it really simple, and it's connected to Google Sheets where you can really start to organize yourself. Because once you start getting going, you can get unorganized
in a quick, fast hurry.
Real quick. And the Google Sheets just make it really simple. I had never used Excel before.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is if John can do it, you guys can do it.
That's because I was computer.
It's not even a knock on John. It's just the reality of it. Like, if we can figure this out, you guys can too. I can promise you. I've always been pretty savvy with computer, but I never used Google Sheets. I was able to do it. John, on the other hand, never had to do any of these things, and he's got it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be smart to be able to do these things.
Yeah. Pete, do you want to go into a little bit? Because you're our analytical guy, and you know how to slow things down and explain something. So I know you're the guy to explain SellerAmp.
Sure. I think that the one thing that I'll really focus on with SellerAmp that I really like, because Miles does talk about reverse, what is it called? Reverse store stocking. Is that right?
Store stocking.
So what I really like about SellerAmp is that you can see a list of everybody selling the same product that you're interested in. And not only that, but it gives you a better idea as to how to price your products. So it allows you to have that information to know how to run your business. And so it's a really powerful tool. And in order to get to see other people's stores to see what they're selling, you essentially see that list on SellerAmp, and you click on it to view their store. It'll pull up their store and show all their products, and then it kind of helps you evaluate if that's a product that you would want to add to your store as well. So that's one of the really impressive features of SellerAmp that I really gravitate to whenever I go out and start scanning in the retail arbitrage in the stores. But I think there's a lot of other functions on there as well. Like they have Keepa as sort of like a widget.
I would say it's dumbed down Keepa, but it's just not an expansive
right
what you would see on a computer screen. But it is there is some data there that you can look at and be able to make judgment calls on because of that. So Yeah, there's a lot of things inside SellerAmp that is extremely beneficial. I mean, can you do, John, can you do any Amazon business, and at least what we're doing, without SellerAmp?
I mean, you got to have a pen and paper and a calculator. I mean, I guess you technically could because there was a
But
time
why would
before
you, right?
Seller. Yeah, but I mean, it's a
Use the
no.
product that's right there. It's all, we all have phones, and you just download the app and it's right there on your phone, and
Yeah.
Or
away
yeah,
you
or on
go.
your computer when you're at home.
Don't get me wrong, there are alternatives to Seller's Amp, but in my experience, and I think all of our experience, we found that Seller's Amp has really provided everything you need in order to
Yeah,
be successful.
and
So
I think
it
anyone
just it
that
just
is
made sense.
yeah, and anybody who is researching on YouTube. By the time I joined Miles' group, I already knew SellerAmp, Keepa. I had kind of seen Boxem, but SellerAmp and Keepa, I already
Mhm.
kind of knew, like, oh, I need those two things because they were just on every, they're on every single video. I don't think there's much else out there other than those two.
Mhm.
Um, for
And
just
the great
your
thing about it
everyday
also,
use.
the great thing about it also, John, is it's only like $20 a month, I believe. That's the
Yeah, it's
subscription rate,
cheap.
right?
Both of them are cheap. I think
Yeah.
Celebrate might be once you do like so many searches, it might go to like 29. But
Hmm.
Keepa's
Okay.
like 20. Yeah, they're two of them less inexpensive.
Right.
You just can't do it without it.
It's
Yeah.
very low overhead to be opening or starting your own business.
God. Yeah, I mean a couple $100 at the most once you get all of your apps
Right.
and all your Chrome extensions and everything like that. You're probably not even at $200. You're probably high hundreds. And as far as anybody that's looking to do this, reinvent yourself, if you've owned your own business, a couple $100 a month is not exactly, um, that's just the cost of doing business. So I really think SellerAmp, uh, is just needed. And for me, it got me really organized with the Google Sheets, um, because I didn't have to learn how to use Excel. The Google Sheets are preloaded in the back end of SellerAmp, and all you have to do is just kind of build what you want to show up and where you want it to show up. So I have one for my replans. I have one for my out of stock. I have one for my buy sheet, so I know everything that I buy and the quantity that I buy. I have one for I'm starting to do wholesale. I have one for wholesale leads. I have one for like stuff that is almost good but not quite good. So I can go
So you
back and
say
look
that you
at it.
have all these sheets. What's that look like inside SellerAmp? Because there's
Right
really,
inside.
it's super simple. You have all your little your topics, or as John said, a replens tab, a tab that says out of stock. And so if I find a product that's out of stock, literally all you do
One
is
button.
click stock,
And it just
and it
goes to your Google Sheet.
automatically adds it to your Google Sheet. So it's, again, if you're our age, you probably didn't use Google Sheets. We didn't have that growing up. So yeah, it's very simple. So
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
I learn how to use it, anybody can.
that's exactly right. So we've been talking about Miles a lot. What if I'm watching today and I say, "Who's Miles?" or how do I get him to be my coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're on there, it's Flips4Miles. All you really have to do is just go on YouTube and if you type in anything to do with Amazon, FBA, online arbitrage, his little baby face is just going to show
And do I
over
just
and
reach out
over
to
and
him?
over.
Somehow you reach out to him, or you just comment on a video? What do you do?
I can't remember how I
Tried to
reached
remember
out
how
to
I did
him.
it too.
I don't remember because it wasn't right away. It was when I was really getting ready to do it, and I was talking to a friend of a friend that introduced me to it, and I was just realizing, I'm like, this is just so over my head. I don't know where to begin. And randomly, somewhere, I found it. I think maybe it might have been a link on one of his videos.
That's what I would have said. Probably a link on a video.
It was a link on a video because I did not see Miles on X or Instagram. I wasn't using that at all. I was just using YouTube.
I'll tell you guys, I think we are really showing our age and showing why we've created this podcast because we can't even remember. I can't remember how I
No,
actually
and so you
connected
can
with
find them
Miles.
though. I'm sure if you want to sign up with them, you're going to be able to find them.
Yeah,
But
you'll
yeah,
find
we're definitely showing our age here because we can't remember.
We will
In
put a link
fact,
in the description.
yeah, we'll put a
the
link in the
for you.
description so that you guys can click it and see it and be able to go find Miles and let him know that Blake, John, and Pete sent you.
And Miles is, I mean, the man is witty.
Yeah.
The man is witty.
He
He's
is.
got plenty of one-liners.
He does.
He does.
Uncle Flips is what they call him, right?
Uncle Flips. Uncle Flips. Yeah, and he I would not be here today if it wasn't for him. I think I would have probably given up in the first couple of weeks.
Well, John, I'm glad you opened your mouth because closed mouths don't get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed. That is right. And we do have one more thing tonight.
Oh,
We have our mailbag.
Yeah,
mailbag.
baby.
Yeah,
More mail.
We
Keep
do.
it coming, guys.
We have two more. Let's see. What do we have? If Amazon shares the buy box, is that something I shouldn't be afraid of?
Is there a difference in owning the buy box and being in the buy box?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, if Amazon is in the buy box 100% of the time, never. I would
Right.
say starting out, something to stay away from.
Yeah,
I would
probably
agree.
Once
avoid.
once you get a little better and you can start understanding how they come into the buy box, come out of it, they might share the buy box. That's something that you'll just learn. But I would
Yeah.
say the first couple months when you're learning, if Amazon's on there,
If Amazon's in the buy box, and you'll see that in your Keepa charts, again, that's one of the reasons you have to Keepa. You'll be able to see if Amazon's in the buy box and how consistent they're in the buy box. If they are consistently in the buy box, it's you can't beat Amazon, right? So
Right.
if Amazon's in there periodically, that's a different story.
yeah, like I would probably say stay away from it. There's enough other stuff out of there.
There's other things out there. It's exactly right.
Yeah.
What's question number 2, John?
Question number 2. Should I buy sweatshirts this time of year? And I would say, yeah, look at your Keep It chart.
If it's
I say
showing
just
good
follow
in
the data.
Keepa,
Whatever the data
I'll-
says, do that.
You just read the data. Sometimes I will take sweatshirts because I usually keep my Keep It chart at 90 day. And sometimes when I see sweatshirts or something, I'll spread it out to a year so I can look back to this time last year. And if the sales nosedived going into summer, then that would probably be something I would stay away from. But many times, in fact, I would say 80% of the time when I go and look, people are buying that sweatshirt just as much in July as they
It
are
makes no
in.
sense, but you have to remember people are all over this country and all over maybe not
Right.
the world for us necessarily, unless you're selling those markets, but people buy that stuff year round. It's bizarre what people buy.
Yeah, you just
Sweatshirts don't
believe the
expire.
data. If the data is there and it shows that it's good and it shows that it was good last year at this time, if that's something you're wondering, then you just go ahead and go for it. Now, hats, mittens, maybe that's different. I haven't really come across that. But in general, like sweatshirts, pants, stuff like that, if it shows that it sells, just listen to the data. Watch the data and listen to the data.
And get ready to polybag.
Yeah. Listen, I have found that polybagging in some weird way is like therapeutic.
Oh, come on, John.
I don't need to do it forever, but polybagging in some ways, I can like zone out. And also in the beginning, when you're sourcing so much on your own, it's a nice break.
Mm-hmm.
The
Do
stuff
you
shows
have
up
your
at your
man card
house.
on you right now? No, you just gave it up.
I did. So yeah, I like to polybag sometimes.
Bless your
I
heart.
did.
Okay, well,
I
you get
did.
in a groove though. I mean, that is one thing. You do kind of get in a groove with it.
Yeah, you get in a little groove and
My
like
groove sounds like this. Hey, babe, will you polybag that?
I did have my children
I've done
polybag
it
for
too.
me,
Yeah.
and that cost me. So
I
that
just tell
actually
my
was,
kids, you know what I tell my kids? Do you want to eat? Then polybag.
yeah, polybag. Yeah, yeah. It cost
Yeah.
me. It cost me ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My wife
it's worth
loves polybagging, so I let her take
Oh
over that
yeah,
role.
let her go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let her go for it. So there you have it. I think we covered everything tonight. We wanted to kind of let you guys know where you're coming from. And listen, online coaching, you might not need it. I think so many people of our age need it because the younger generation, they really know how to use Instagram and X and Reddit and Discord. They can almost make their own group within like one of those social medias and really
Mhm.
learn how to do it. And with us, we just didn't know how to do that. And
Yeah, it's
that's
just new
why,
platforms, it's new ways of doing things.
yeah.
Again, you're
So
learning from a teenager. Well, I say teenager, you learning from a young adult.
yeah,
It's
and it's
things you just
not,
got to get past.
yeah, it's not cheap, but for us, I mean, it was just so worth it. So if you're starting really slow and it's just a side gig and you want to just work through it yourself, like that's fine. You might not need it. But if this is something where you're really looking to do some sort of career change, either your 9 to 5 job is gone like mine, or you're phasing out of your 9 to 5 job, uh, it helps. It is just a huge, huge help. So, and all we can do is just talk from our experience, and what we went through. I don't know. I'm sure there are some online coaches out there that are garbage. But all we can do is tell you that who we use for an online coach, he put in the effort. And I think that's what.
And I'm glad that I joined the school. I'm glad that I went through that, because otherwise I would not be where I'm at today. And you guys concur. I mean, it's a good thing for all of us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys, thankfully, I have joined a couple different mentorships, and I'm able to say, comparatively so, that this one out far exceeded my expectations.
You did not like one of the other ones that we won't mention.
It's not
the
even
name.
close. It's not even close.
We won't mention the name, but you tried another one and it was not good.
Yeah, I don't want to speak poorly of the other groups, but or the other group that you're referring to.
But we can speak highly of
we
Miles.
can speak very highly of Miles for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Flips.
So yeah, we're gonna start next week. We're thinking about possibly bringing somebody in next week, a little interview.
Yeah, let's do it.
Somebody in our school group. So I think we're gonna figure that out, because I'm sure that they're lining up to be on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Of course they want to be on the podcast. So we might be doing that next week. But again, if you like us, give us a thumbs up, subscribe,
Hit that button.
and send us your questions in our mailbag
to marketplacemavericks@gmail.com, marketplacemavericks@gmail.com.
You got to do this too.
Yeah. So until next time, we will be back next week, hopefully with a fourth person.
Until then,
see you guys.
adios.
Peace.